welcome or welcome back to my channel. Before we get into this video, I see you, see me, so I want to see you. Press subscribe and become part of the fam bam. You guys, today I'm going to give you 5 oils to help you grow your hair. So if you're interested in this video, then just keep watching. So you guys, I'm going to list these oils from the easiest to get, and then we're going to get into like the more expensive to get, and then maybe get into some DIYs to try to make it a little less expensive. So let's jump into the cheapest, and then I'm gonna have on the screen the benefits of each of these ingredients for you guys. And it looks like I'm a little blurry, so I'm gonna try to fix it. I mean, I don't even know what's going on though. Okay, am I still blurry? Okay, is she good? I think so. So the first oil that is the cheapest is olive oil. Y'all know I was supposed to say olive oil. Is at Walmart. Is at the Dollar General. Is at the Dollar Tree. Olive oil is everywhere. Go get olive oil. Boom. Video's done. No, I'm playing. Like, seriously, olive oil is everywhere. It's cheap. Most naturals love olive oil. Most natural hair love olive oil, and it's really easy to get. One thing about olive oil, it do have like a very strong smell, but I mean, for me, olive oil doesn't bother my nose like that. If you're wanting to be a little bit more particular, you know, maybe you'll opt out for olive oil, but olive oil is a great oil, and it helps your hair grow. It helps moisturize your hair, and it's really, really inexpensive if you're trying to get olive oil. So now with this olive oil, you can transform a lot of more expensive oils with olive oil if you choose to. So the second oil for me that will probably be a little bit more pricier or a little bit harder to get will be rosemary oil. But with rosemary oil, it's a little bit more expensive. But if you don't mind a good DIY, you can take that olive oil and then add some dry rosemary leaves, or even you can get fresh rosemary, and it's very easy to plant and grow your own rosemary. I did tell y'all that we was gonna get into a DIY, but if you are a penny pincher like me, then you would most definitely like this step, especially growing your own rosemary, because you can go cut it. It'll keep growing, just water it. But you can take some olive oil, put that rosemary, heat up the olive oil on the stove, sprinkle some rosemary, maybe a tablespoon to a cup of olive oil, and you can infuse yourself some rosemary oil that way. So like I said, you can use dry rosemary, or else you can use fresh rosemary. And rosemary oil, everybody knows that it helps stimulate hair growth. It also helps moisturize your hair because you got that olive oil in there as the carrier oil if you're trying to do it a cheaper way. If you're wanting to infuse the oils longer, make sure that you don't have any water in your mixture with the rosemary. So you probably want to use like the dry rosemary. Warm up the oil, use the dry rosemary, put it in a jar, leave it on a shelf or in the cabinet for a week or two, and then you can take that out and use the infused olive oil with the rosemary, dry rosemary leaves in there, and then you guys will have rosemary oil. Another oil that is really, really good for your hair, but it's a little bit more expensive. You find it in like a really, really little bottle, but it's pumpkin seed oil. So once again, if you don't want to have the coin for the pumpkin seed oil, then you can make your own pumpkin seed oil by getting pumpkin seeds. If you want to peel the little shell off of it, you can. If you want to get it already peeled, then it's great to do it that way. You can blend up your pumpkin seeds, pour in your olive oil, and then you can let it marinate that way. Make sure you use a strainer if you're doing it this way, or else you can leave the pumpkin seeds whole, heat up the olive oil, and then put the pumpkin seeds in there for it to marinate. But one of the ways that I find that it was most beneficial is actually blending it all up and then straining it with a cheesecloth. That it is an excellent way to get yourself some really good oil. Pumpkin oil from the pumpkin seeds is actually doing it that way. And another oil, it is easier to get, is a little bit more expensive than olive oil, but is avocado oil. But you can also make your own avocado oil. I believe maybe I will have a video out. I'll try to remember to leave it down below, but y'all already know. We ain't even gonna say nothing. But you can use the entire avocado, like the peels that y'all use from your avocados and bananas. Don't throw the seeds away and don't throw away the shell. You can literally blend up the shell and the avocado seed, put it on a flat like cookie sheet, put it in the oven, bake it for about like 25 minutes, stirring it around until it gets really, really black, and then squeeze that juice out of the avocados, and then you'll have pure avocado oil. But if you want a lot more oil, then, you know, get the shell of the avocado, the seed, blend it up, put it in the oven, let it get really brown, and then pour some olive oil over the top of your avocado shells and seeds. And then you're gonna have a whole bunch more to strain out, like with their cheesecloth, to make avocado oil. But if you don't like to do DIYs, then just go to the store and buy avocado oil. That was a bonus tip for you guys. But the next one is tea tree oil. You can find tea tree oil anywhere. It's really cheap. And then the last one, but not least, is black castor oil, black Jamaican castor oil, regular castor oil, period. It is so delicious for your hair. Like, it's super thick. That's what really helped my hair, my edges grow back. And then I had made a DIY oil that helped with the shedding and help my edges grow back so much faster, because I added like a whole bunch of yummy goodness in this Ayurvedic type of oil that I infuse, y'all, using coffee oil, fenugreek, black seed, putting all of that stuff off in this oil. And all of those can be an oil all on their own, but because I only said I was gonna name 5, but I already gave y'all 6, I'm not gonna go into super detail about the coffee or the fenugreek or the black seed oil. But all of those are really, really, really good oils to use if you're having problems with shedding, needing your hair to grow a little bit faster, try to boost that hair growth a little bit more. Then all of those oils that I just listed, all of those oils that I listed is really, really great. But you guys, black Jamaican castor oil is so good for the hair. I don't understand how oil can be that thick and that good. It is a little bit more expensive, but because it comes in a little bottle, but I mean, it's really worth it. Like, that oil, black Jamaican castor oil, is really worth every single penny that you put into it. I would have to say all of these oils are, but like I said, just start out with olive oil and see if you can build from there with a particular oil that will suit your hair needs. That's it. I mean, if you need something to help your hair grow a little bit more, or something to strengthen the hair follicle, or something to stimulate the scalp a little bit to try to make your hair grow a little bit faster, then just experiment and don't put water in any of these things if you're wanting to store them for a long time. Because if you put oil in anything, you have to add a preservative. But water and oil don't mix unless you have an emulsifier. And you guys, that's why I don't talk a lot about making like an actual hair lotion cream or anything like that, because if you're not into formulating, it is a lot. So I'm gonna digress because this is not what that video is about. But I did want to say, don't put water or live plants in oil, like rosemary oil. Let me just give a really quick example. Rosemary oil is really good. If you put live roses in there that has not been dehydrated, you're going to have a mold problem. You're probably going to need to, you're most definitely going to need to dump it out within 6 days, 6 to 8 days. And then if it's in the refrigerator, you might could get away with it for 10 days, maybe 12 days max. But you're going to need to dump it out if you're using fresh rose petals inside your oil. But if you don't have any water in there, you're not using fresh like plants, or else if you haven't did the canning, the jar method or anything like that, you're going to need to put a preservative in your oils if you're using anything live or fresh. So just to put that out there. But if you are making these oils, just make sure you're not using something fresh, and make sure there's no water in there, and you don't have to add a preservative in there if it has no water in there, because where water is, that's when there is chance for bacteria to grow. So yeah, you guys, I'm not going to talk you guys head off and make this a very long rambling type of video. But if you use these oils, or if you like these oils, if you ever heard of these oils, please leave comments down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.